Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about himself in the Quran, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing is like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is nothing like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in this ayah doing something, you can say, nafyu sharik. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that there is nobody equal to him in anything. Nafyu sharik. Allah is telling you that there's no one in partnership with him. Laysa kamithlihi shay. Nothing is like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after doing nafi, after negating that which does not belong to him, he affirms to himself something. وَيُثْبِتُ الْكَمَالِ. He affirms that which is perfect to himself. And he says, وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. Nothing is like him, and he's As-Sami' wal-Basir. And we spoke about this last week. As-Sami' al-Basir, what these means. As-Sami' is the person or the one that hears everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about himself and called himself As-Sami', the one that he can hear everything, okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the ability to hear everyone simultaneously, okay? And what we said, what did we say about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We said a few things. We said, number one, that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yuthbitu li nafsihi, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala attributes to himself a characteristic, then that characteristic is perfect. It's a perfect characteristic. So when we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is a sami', he can hear, he can see. This does not, he can hear, a sami' that he can hear. It does not mean that his hearing is like the hearing of al-bashar, of the hearing of mankind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hearing, yaliqu bi jalalihi, is something which is exclusive to him according to his majesty. We cannot say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears like us. Allah's hearing is greater than ours. Some people will say, no, akhi al-kareem, this is not the case, because if لو أثبت لله السمع والبصر تشابهه بخلقه. If you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can hear and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see, then you're making him similar to his creation. And we don't believe that. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we don't believe that. There is something in everything. The ulama, when they try to explain this, they say that لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرٌ مُشْتَرَكٌ. Every single thing has an element of it being similar to another thing. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that he is As-Sami', that he hears, or he's Al-Basir, that he sees, there is a qadrun mushtarak. There is something similar between that word or that characteristics and the characteristics of his slaves. But the qadrun mushtarak, the thing that is similar, is the name only, is the ism. It's not the haqiqah. Meaning that the haqiqah, the reality of how Allah sees something and how Allah hears something, is nothing like the way human beings see or hear. The only thing which is the same is the name. Only thing which shares is the name. So that's the only qadrun mushtarak. That's the only thing which is similar. So when we say Allah hears, we're not saying that Allah is like a human being. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees, that his sight is like our sight. Not at all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he sees and when he hears, is completely different to ours, and is greater than ours, and is complete. It's nothing like ours. Our seeing and our hearing has naqs. We can't see everything. I can't even see what's behind me right now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see everything. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls himself As-Sami' and Al-Basir, the one who is all, all hearing, then even the word As-Sami' has two meanings in the Arabic language. In fact, it has many meanings, but there's two main meanings. Number one, the one who, the word, obviously the first one that I explained, which is As-Sami', is the one who hears everything about Allah, everything, okay? We said that. The other one is Al-Mujib, الذي يجيب الدعاء. Okay, the one who answers everything that you say. So not only does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hear everything you say, he answers everything that you say. Which is why when we say now salah, sami Allahu liman hamida, we don't mean, it means that Allah answers to anyone who calls upon him praising him. Sami Allahu liman hamida ay ajaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers every single person who calls upon him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in the Quran, Inna Rabbi la sami'ud du'a. that indeed my Lord is the one who answers all prayers. Sami'ud du'a, hears all prayers and answers all prayers. Okay, and the rest, there's the same regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's al-basar. Al-basira, or al-basar, has two meanings as well. Al-basar can mean to see everything, to be able to see everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to see absolutely everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees absolutely everything, okay? And then the other one is al-basir, can also mean alim, okay? It can also mean al-alim, okay? Wallahu basirun bil ibad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, He knows everything that His slaves do. Okay, with regarding these sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, we say that as-sam'u wal-basaru min sifat al-dhatiyya. Hearing hearing and seeing are from the sifat al-dhatiyya. Do you remember what we said in the very first lesson, or the second lesson? We said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's characteristics, some of them are الصفات التي لا تنفك عن الله سبحانه وتعالى. Some characteristics of Allah, they are with Him all the time. He can hear, he can see. Okay, those are things that are always with Allah. And then there's other characteristics that الصفات الاختيارية or الصفات الفعلية, things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes to do sometimes, and certain times He does not wish to do them. Things that Allah does when He likes. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends to the heavens, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to speak to somebody. Okay, even though speaking is also from as-sifat al-dhatiyya, but this is, you get what I'm basically trying to say, that certain characteristics are always with Allah, meaning that His seeing, His hearing, and certain things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses to do them when He wants. And seeing and hearing, okay, are from those characteristics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the time. And then we move on.